Well, when it comes to children and violence, rarely do we hear good news. Researchers found out what many of us already feared. Kids are exposed to too much violence, and violent behavior is often the result. Just ask your kids. I-Team reporter Colleen McCarty got to be a fly on the wall when a local anti-violence advocate did just that.
Shocking responses from the kids. We asked Brandon Gallion about a recent survey that found 1 in 4 teens thinks violence is okay. Gallion, an ex-felon turned advocate, thought the number sounded low. So did a room full of high school students, who put it closer to 3 out of 4. Take a listen to what else they had to say.
My presentation today, Youth Violence Causes and Prevention.
Even at 22 years old, Brandon Gallion enjoys a certain celebrity status in Clark County classrooms.
Everyone was like, the 311 boys are here, and they had like your newspaper clipping.
Though perhaps enjoys is the wrong word.
I'm 22 years old, haven't been in that game since I was 16. You will have kids younger than you, 8th grade kids. I know Brandon Gallion, hung out with them.
Gallion tries to define the difference between celebrity and notoriety to kids who read his violent history like a comic book instead of a cautionary tale.
I've done everything you've done, thought about doing, and will do. The difference is I got caught.
Defense attorneys expect some of the 9 teens to be offered deals.
At 16 years old, Gallion faced 17 adult felony charges for his role in the melee that left Stephen Tanner Hansen permanently disfigured. Though Gallion didn't throw the rock, he rolled with the infamous 311 boys, who chronicled their summer of terror on home video. Gallion narrowly avoided prison in 2004, sentenced instead to probation and house arrest.
I made the choices to be the bad part of life. This is my right, and I'm taking it to be, a positive influence on these kids' lives.
Gallion's target program, Teens at Risk and Educated Today, seeks to stop the cycle of violence and substance abuse.
How many guys have drank alcohol in the last 2 weeks? So in the last 2 weeks, almost half this class, if not more, has drank alcohol. Does your parents know? Well, now they do.
For an hour and 25 minutes, Gallion leads the conversation with these Bonanza High School students many parents and teachers never get to have.
We talk about substance abuse. How many guys have smoked pot? How many guys have done harder drugs? I'm talking cocaine, meth, heroin, PCP, acid, mushrooms, popping pills. My question is, since I've already talked to you, why? Your friends did it, so you did it, right?
Yeah, they're very persuasive.
You sat and watched these kids raise their hand when I said, how many of you guys know of a weapon on campus? And almost the whole entire class raised their hand. Doesn't that amaze you that, that many kids in this classroom, that's 30 kids, know that there's a weapon on campus?
30 kids who also admit they have no plans to report it.
Because why? Is it fear? Is it intimidation? Get the weapons off the campus.
Gallion knows it sounds cliche, but if his so-called celebrity status helps him to reach just one kid, he'll continue to channel his 16-year-old self.
My message is powerful because I have made a change.
The former 311 boy turned college student wishes he hadn't learned the hard way.
Young people should not have to go through what everyone involved in our situation went through, and that's why we keep fighting to do this.
Gallion is free of any court-ordered commitments. He presents Target because he wants to, not because he has to. So far, he says more than 10,000 students have participated. Gallion and his family also conduct seminars for parents, school staff, and for law enforcement.
And you say his mother participates with him in these?
She does. She wants the kids to understand how his choices affected her, how their choices affect their parents. It's really interesting stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's
Thanks,
great.
Colleen.
Thanks, Colleen. And we have, what, 36 hours and counting? You make it sound like we're going to batten down the hatches.
Really?
Well, it's really warm outside right now, and if you like, how many more days do you think we're going to have highs only in the lower 60s?
No,
so if you really like it cool, you're really going to like Wednesday because we have another cold front that's going to swing through. So at least for right now, we're calling for highs in the upper 50s and lower 60s on Wednesday. So you've got that if you like the cool air. The bigger story, though, once again, is the return of the winds tomorrow. tomorrow because we have a cold front that's heading our way. Right now it's in the Pacific Northwest, and it's kind of starting to head south down along the west coast. It'll get here tomorrow, and we're looking at wind gusts up to about 30, 35 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. It's really warm outside right now in the upper 60s. Fort Apache at 68 degrees with the winds out of the west-southwest at about 4 miles per hour. Other numbers, 72 in Henderson. You can see wind gusts up to about 26 miles per hour, 73 right now in Las Vegas. So with all the cloud cover outside right now, it's still very warm because it keeps the cloud cover. The cloud cover keeps the temperatures down at the surface. So East Washington at 72, Mountain Vista at 74, Seven Hills in the upper 60s right now. The same for Pahrump down to Searchlight at 65, Boulder City right now at 71. The same for Overton. So you see the numbers out there. I mean, the high today was 83 degrees, and it's still very warm down the south and all over the place right now. The average high is 77. Today made it up to 83, so that's about 6 degrees warmer than it should be. This morning woke up to temperatures in the mid-50s, and there's a look at your record. 1990 hit a high of 93 degrees. So we're going to get the winds tomorrow, and that means if you suffer from allergies, you're not going to like tomorrow. Look at the pollen count. It'll be in the high category for mulberry, pine, and oak. Pretty high there in the moderate category for grass and weeds. And even tomorrow, we have a dust advisory in effect, so the air quality won't be good as well. There's a look at the West Coast satellite. You notice all the cloud cover beginning to stream in from the west. It's still out there tonight. That's why it's so warm outside. It'll be there tomorrow as well. And then we're just waiting for this cold front here up towards the north, producing some light snow right now in Seattle down to Portland. And it's going to race down to the south. And that's why, once again, tomorrow, winds out of the southwest, sustained winds up to about 20 miles per hour, gusting up to 35 once this cold front begins to push through. And then behind it, much cooler air gets here for Wednesday. So there's a look at the wind advisory that goes into effect tomorrow until Wednesday morning because of those wind gusts. Temperature-wise, nice and warm here in Phoenix at 74. You can see upper 30s in Kansas City, and very warm down the south. The current temperature in Miami at 77. And when you clash with the warm air and the cold air, that means you have some severe weather still riding down towards the south. Tonight, warm. A lot of cloud cover down to 62. Now, tomorrow it'll still be warm in the upper 70s, but the bigger story is the winds. And then look at the 7-day forecast for Wednesday, the last day for taxes, a high of only 59 degrees, maybe a couple scattered showers, cool on Thursday as well, and a nice little warm up for the rest of the week. All right, back to you guys.